Hey, Steve. Obviously, a dominant win for you guys. I'm just curious what you made of your start on both ends of the floor. It seemed like you guys got off to a hot start offensively, and we're getting stops early on too.
Yeah, I mean that's it in a nutshell. I thought defensively we played hard. Our intensity was there. We fought and scrapped. Had a good first half defensively, and obviously compared to the first game, we made shots and we're hot to start the game. So we played pretty well at both ends of the floor, and but most importantly, our guys, they came out with the right spirit.
Just to follow up, I'm not saying this was the ceiling for you guys by any means or anything, but it seemed like between forcing turnovers, the rim protection, and obviously offensively, is this as complete of a game as you guys have played? You think?
Um, Maybe I thought it was a very solid, well-rounded performance. You it's hard to look back and say, but we haven't played that many games for the whole group, so if maybe two. So of those two, this is well-rounded and the best performance. But we always want to look to improve, and this group's got to get better every day, every game, if we're gonna have a chance to keep advancing. So it's important for us to not worry about the score so much as our performance, our details, and our spirit.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, Steve, what kind of a lift did Joe's early shooting give you in that first quarter?
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice luxury to have when he's banging in three balls like that and gets us off to a good start and gets the crowd into the game. So, he was phenomenal tonight, and it definitely gives you a lift and gives your team some belief and energy when the ball goes in the basket like that.
Blake Andrews, ESPN.
Steve, when you're characterizing it as building every game, going from last game to this game, you're looking at maybe the slow start, confident shots were falling. What is it from this game that now you're looking at? Because that looked pretty dominant.
I think it's about having the mindset to get better. We're not going to get better every game. You're going to have good games, bad games. You're going to go forward, take a step back. It's about over the course of this journey, are we taking something with us every night? And so, I thought obviously we were a little sharper offensively tonight. The ball moved better. We had 31 assists and a lot of them early. So that was positive. But it's about that time together on the floor, time together to understand and to gel and to make those connections that will afford us more, down the line. But it's the time and it's the mindset that we need to improve. Like I keep saying, we're not a team that's running this back for year 4 or 5. We're trying to figure it out as we go here. So each night is important, not only on the scoreboard, but also as far as our development.
Bruce Beck, NBC New York.
Hey, Steve, I wanted to follow up on that unselfishness a little bit. Harris had 3 assists, Griffin 4, Durant 5, Kyrie 6, Harden 7. We know you've got the firepower, but when you see that kind of selflessness, how much of a better team are you?
Yeah, whenever, the ball moves, we're very difficult to defend. We can score in isolation, but the more the ball moves, we knock the first domino down and the other team's chasing. We're excellent in those situations. So we want to try to, make that more of a habit for us. And that takes some time, but I think that tonight was a good indicator of where we can go with that, and that we should double down on that and make sure that we try to, really play together, play off one another, and make sure everyone's a threat as many possessions as possible.
Greg Logan with Newsday.
Steve, following up on that ball movement question, Joe said this morning that you needed to spread the floor more. So was that was his shooting a direct emphasis of that point you made him in practice? And also you said that it's tricky for the Celtics to try and stay with him when you've got all those other stars. So were both those factors kind of combining to lead to that explosion?
I think it all contributes. The spacing maybe was better at times, but it was really more that we played together. We got into our actions. We screened and moved and cut and moved the ball more so than the ISO spacing. The offense was moving, the ball was moving, and we put them in a position where it was hard to catch up. So that was positive. That was growth, I think, and that's something that we can build on.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach, you've said oftentimes this season that the Nets don't have necessarily the roster profile to be elite defensively. But what's changed over the season? You've got basically the same guys, but you guys are playing much better defense. What would you say has been the biggest change?
Well, we've worked at it. We've kept on them all year. We have a full complement of players now. They understand what we're trying to do. And, when you get in the playoffs, both teams are game planning for one another. So there's a little bit more understanding of what you're trying to take away. And then the intensity, our guys are playing really intense physical basketball. So our defense has gone up a little bit of a level here, but that's always got to be something that we have to fight and scrap like underdogs if we want to perform at that end of the floor.
Ian O'Connor, New York Post.
Yeah, Steve, just to follow up on what you said about James Harden before the game, when you look at the box score by his standards anyway, it was not a huge game for him, but the way he distributed the ball and allowed Joe Harris to take over when a superstar player and a three-time scoring champ allows that, or is that willing? What kind of a message does that send to the rest of the team?
Well, that's one of the great strengths and attributes he brings to our team is that he can organize, run the team, put people in spots to succeed, make, beautiful passes, but also simple passes that catch the defense off guard. And like I said, the first domino falls and then it's hard for them to catch up. So that's his role on our team, is to play make, is to orchestrate, to get guys opportunities and find that balance between being aggressive to score and to play make. And, I think our guys are finding, rhythm together. It's every game presents different challenges, but tonight was a little bit of growth as far as them having more time on the floor together, second night in a row where they, got to feel it and get to connect. And so that was positive, and James kind of orchestrates that.
Back to Malika Andrews.
Steve, a lot of coaches say that good defense leads to good offense. I'm wondering if this may be a team that tests the reverse, if good offense can lead to good defense.
Maybe. I think they're kind of one and the same. Your defense can lead to offense, your offense can lead to defense. You want both. You want energy at both ends of the floor. You want to work and push to succeed at both ends of the floor. And if you do succeed at one end, it helps the other. So if you're pushing to get stops, you can get out and run, you get more opportunities. And if the ball's going through the basket, it can also give you life in that you want to defend with more energy and more enthusiasm. So maybe that's the case, but I like just to try to push it at both ends of the floor to see what it can provoke in us.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Good night.